G'day and welcome back to the channel. Another ranty video from the ranty chair where I do most of my ranty videos. Now today, got a list. Old and I forget, you know what it's like. You know the drill. Right, first of all, there has been another collision between a helicopter and a drone. It's in Mexico. There was it's a Baja race, where I suppose it's the off-road races. A Hughes 500 helicopter was getting some really cool aerial video footage of one of the races, and a drone got in the way. Or it may have been the other way around. It may have been a drone getting some cool footage and the helicopter got in the way. We don't know. As always in these cases, there's a complete lack of, verifiable information. There's a video on YouTube. There it is, see? I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. Go and have a look at it. It's the only information that I've really got. And it basically, you can see there's some dents on the tail boom of the helicopter, and there's a dent in the vertical stabilizer, and the tail rotor is a little bit damaged, right? So yeah, not a good thing. Now, obviously, who's at fault? Who's at fault if it was a drone? Remember, we don't have any independent third-party verification. It's just this video. So who is at fault? Well, if you look at it, the helicopter was almost certainly below 500 feet. You've seen videos of these things scooting along, just maybe 50, 100 feet at maximum above the ground, chasing cars, doing cool stuff. That's how they get the really fantastic video you see on television. And of course that's below 500 feet, isn't it? And we all know that the rules say if you're flying a manned aircraft, you should be above 500 feet unless you're taking off for landing. And you're not going to be landing in the middle of a rally, chasing a car. So from that perspective, the helicopter pilot has to bear some of the fault. But again, the drone operator also has to realise that they shouldn't be flying near manned aircraft. So it's a joint fault. If this was indeed a drone versus helicopter collision, the fault was on both sides. It takes two people in this case, or two parties, to create an incident. That's what happened. But the most important thing we can take away from this whole thing is that nobody got injured. Nobody even got killed. Yep. Once again, despite what the regulators tell us, despite what the media tells us, helicopter, drone, nobody dies. Yep. That's it. And this time it was a tail rotor strike. The most feared of all collisions between drones and manned aircraft is a drone hitting a tail rotor. It happened, apparently. Nobody died. So I think it's time that the regulators and the media started winding down the volume on this hyperbole, this hype, this hysteria that they're pitching to us. Because every time there's another collision and nothing really bad happens, their credibility is eroded even further. And they need credibility. If they want to convince people these rules are important, you must follow the rules, they've got to have credibility. Right now, their credibility, every time there's an incident and nobody dies or is injured and there's no major property damage, the credibility just gets chipped away bit by bit to the point where people are going to say, oh, what a load of bullshit. These regulators don't know a thing. So regulators, if you're listening, and I know you are, take note. Take note. Let's be more realistic about what we can expect if a drone and a manned aircraft collide. Of course, we want to avoid that at all costs. It is the big thing. No, we do not want collisions between manned aircraft and drones. But again, going back to this incident, we need to point out and remind manned aircraft that if they're going to come down below 500 feet, they do so at their own risk. That's where most birds are. That's where there's power lines. That's where there's telegraph poles. That's where the dangers are. And if you're flying a helicopter close to the ground at speed below 500 feet and you hit a drone, ask yourself, who's at fault? And you better be prepared to wear some of that blame yourself. Regulators need to be more proactive in this and remind, as CAA have done in New Zealand, remind manned aviators that below 500 feet is not their domain. It's where the drones live now. Don't go there or you're asking for trouble. And another incident worth noting, it happened at an airfield in the USA where, and this is another good one. Now we've been told a drone hits the tail rotor of a helicopter, that's it. That's the end of the helicopter, which we just proved for the third time is not the case. But what happens when a light aircraft hits a helicopter? How tough are helicopters really? Well, here's some footage on the net, which shows a Piper low-winged light manned aircraft striking a Robinson helicopter. And look what happens. Look at that. Link again in the description. Go to the description, you'll find the link. You can go and see the whole video yourself. But look, we have manned aircraft striking a helicopter at an airport. So this sort of brings into sharp focus the fact that airports are very dangerous places. We shouldn't be flying our drones there. And based on this video, you shouldn't be flying aircraft there either. The aircraft and the helicopter collided at an airport. I mean, seriously, this is the problem that we've got. the biggest risk to manned aviation, as I've said on many occasions in these rants, is not drones, it's other manned aircraft. And here's the proof. Here's the proof. Now, when two manned aircraft collide, a helicopter and a fixed wing, real bad things happen. Look at that. The Piper is trashed. The R-22 probably major damage. But when the drone hit the Hughes 500, few dents, bent tail rotor, landed safely. So, yeah, I think, again, the regulators need to focus on the real problems. It's not drones. Honestly, it is not drones. Now, for some news I've seen on the wires. First of all, the umbrella drone. What a stunningly good idea that is. Not. Someone in Japan has come up with a brainwave. Let's attach an umbrella to a drone. And I was thinking, that's not a bad idea. You can fly in the rain. You can do your FPV in the rain because you won't get rain on the lens. But honestly, a drone, aeroplanes. I'm here all day. Nothing happens. I sit down to make a video and suddenly aeroplanes. Oh, anyway, yeah, so put an umbrella on your drone, but it'll fly like crap. So it's really just, according to the people who have come up with this, $275 idea, I think it is. $275, I'll give you an umbrella on a drone. But anyway, it'll hover over your head. It'll keep the rain off your head and keep the sun off you. Isn't that fantastic? But it is flawed in so many ways. For a start, in most countries around the world, you're not allowed to fly a drone near crowds of people. So unless you're walking on your own, way away from other people, you can't use it. And you're not allowed to fly near airports. So you can't use this thing near an airport. A lot of places you're not allowed to fly in cities and towns. The councils and the city governments have said you may not fly drones here. So where are you going to use this thing? And also battery life. We all know how little time drones fly as it is. Imagine once you've got the weight of an umbrella on there as well. It is just the idea from hell. It is a stupid, stupid idea. But again, showing how fantastically intuitive and insightful the media is, they've given it worldwide coverage. It's been on all the news wires. Oh, look at this great idea. There goes the media again. I don't know why we even bother with them. And now for something really cool. This is really cool. Remember in New Zealand we developed a thing, or they're developing a thing called the Martin jetpack. A monstrosity, a white elephant of a thing. It's not a jetpack. It is kind of like it's two ducted fans that on a platform you stand on and risk your life by leaving the ground. It's been in development for years. And when they debuted it at Oshkosh back in 2007 or 2009 or something. It'll be ready in a year or two. Well, we're now 10 years later and it's still not ready. And it's still just an accident looking for a place to happen. Really, honestly, it will never take off. I mean that quite literally and figuratively. It is just a complete white elephant. But the people from KittyHawk who are doing drone taxis, unmanned aerial taxis, they've come up with a fantastic device. I mean, I can imagine people lining up to buy this thing. Here's some video. Link in the description below. This thing looks really cool. It is like it's a multirotor you can sit in, but it's really nicely designed. It's stylish. It's sleek. It looks the part. It's not an armchair with a couple of chainsaw motors on it. No, it is a really slick looking thing, and it's electric. And they say it'll fly for up to 15, 20 minutes or something. So you can have a real good fun hooning around, even if you're just 2 or 3 meters above the ground. This is a really cool thing. I'd like one of these. Please send me one to review. I'll have a go. In America, of course, it's an ultralight, so you don't need a license. In fact, there's less paperwork and less regulation involved in flying this thing than there is in flying your Mavic. Really, seriously, it shows you how screwed up the regulations are when you can fly this thing with all the attendant dangers to people who might be nearby, but you can't fly your Mavic in nearly as many places. It's crazy. Also on the news wires this week, Hobby King are on the naughty seat. They've been sent to the naughty seat because they've been selling FPV gear that is not compliant with FCC regulations. The FCC is not happy about this, so they are threatening to sue them or fine them $2.8 million. That's $2.8 million. That's a lot of dollars. That's a lot of millions. And what are they going to do about it? I don't know. But this brings up the whole issue. Now, I've got some gear here that is not legal to use. I mean, years ago I bought some FPV gear and it's on the 1 to 1.3 gigahertz band, and it'll operate on 1.08 gigahertz, which is a secondary navigational frequency for aviation. You would never use that. It's absolutely stupid idea to use it. But if I don't use it, then what's the problem? Now, Hobby King is selling this stuff. Should the onus be on the people who sell the gear or the people who use the gear? You can own a lot of stuff that is not legal to use, but actually owning it isn't a crime. So is it a crime to sell stuff that people are not going to use, because it's the use of the product that creates the problem, not the ownership, not the sale of it, just the use of it. So where does the burden of responsibility lie? Is it the responsibility of Hobby King not to sell stuff that people could use illegally, or is it the responsibility of users not to use stuff if in doing so they break the law? That's a thorny question. I don't know. I guess legally in the USA, Hobby King are not allowed to sell the stuff. But again, I think the burden falls, because there's not just Hobby King, let's face it, there are 1,000,001 different vendors selling stuff into the USA which is not FCC compliant. So Hobby King are a low-hanging fruit. They're an easy target, I guess. But I mean, you've got Banggood, and Banggood have got warehouses in the USA. Are they going to go after Banggood? I don't know. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one. What do you reckon? I mean, do you have FPV gear that you use illegally? And the other thing is, as I mention in a video a while ago, there's a channel here which has interference on it on 5.8 gigahertz. And when you think about it, interference means one very important thing. There's somebody else using that frequency. So I have switched off that frequency. Why did I do that? Was it because I didn't want the interference? Well, yes, it was. But also, very important here, I didn't want to interfere with another user on that frequency. I mean, it's a lot of space. We can all coexist. And when you're using stuff that may or might be sort of borderline legal, for example, you might not have your ham certificate and using something on a ham band, you don't want to pop your head up above the radar. You don't want to you don't want to be in view. You want to be under the radar. So in that respect, you don't want to use a frequency which will attract the attention of other users or the regulator. So if you've got gear that'll work on bands that are not approved, don't use it on those bands. Absolutely don't use it. You're asking for trouble. And a new product release, which is really kind of outside the scope of the stuff I normally deal with, it's the Parrot ANAFI. ANAFI. It's a little drone, GPS drone, sort of Mavic type thing. And it's looking pretty schmick, actually. I'm quite impressed with this little thing, if it lives up to the claims. Its claim to fame is that the front camera can gimbal through 180 degrees, so you can look up, you can fly under things and look up at them, which is kind of cool. And it's lightweight. It's $100 cheaper than the Mavic Air, I think. So it is well priced. It's feature filled. I think Parrot could do quite well with this thing. It's very, very small, about 350 grams or something. So you still have to register in the USA to use it. But I think this could be a really cool little thing. The first real competition from a name brand vendor that DJI has had in this market space for a long time. I would really like to see that drone. I've been looking online. There's videos and things, but I can't wait to see some of the real proper reviews when they come out. Now, I'm going to be doing my tour of the country, and I'm going to need a camera drone to do that, obviously. I've got drones of my own I can use, but I'd like to use a store-bought camera drone to do some of the footage for that. So I may look at that. Maybe they'll send me one to review. Who knows? But I certainly will be looking at the Parrot ANAFI. Where'd they get the name from? ANAFI. Well, seriously? I mean, is it an acronym? Is it like, I mean, I guess Mavic isn't any, Mavic, Top Gun, but really, ANAFI? Sounds like some kind of pudding, does some kind of dessert. An ANAFI pie. Yeah, I don't know. But there you go. So that's it for my ranting for this video. But while I'm here, just some catch up for you. You may have noticed you haven't seen Ron on this channel recently. Ron's been in the Philippines. He's been probably annoying a whole lot of ladyboys, but he's in the Philippines. He'll be back in a week or two, so you'll see Ron back on the channel, more flying at the field. And the weather's been pretty, subpar, of course. It's winter here now, so the flying days are pretty limited. When it's not raining, it's windy, and when it's not windy, it's something else. So, but we have not a lot of flying going on, so I've been just grabbing opportunities where I can. Now, the other thing is RC model reviews. My RC model reviews viewers, I know a lot of you also watch this channel. You're going, what's going on at RC model reviews? Well, complete format change, total format change. I've been sitting back and I've been thinking, let me see, because there are millions of people, there are trillions of people. Honestly, there are billions of trillions of people who are also reviewing products on YouTube now. And most of them don't have the same objective perspective that I do. The affiliate links give that away. But I think that space is so very full that I'm going to cut back a bit on the reviewing side of things, because a lot of people review stuff, and if you look at all the reviews and you pick out the right bits out of each of them, you'll get a pretty good idea of whether a product's any good or not. I will be doing reviews. Of course I'll be doing reviews, but I'm going to focus, I think I may have said this previously, more on the information, on the experience, and giving people stuff they're not going to get on the other channels, because there's no commercial value in it. If I do a theory video on the whiteboard, I'm not going to be selling any product, not that I sell product anyway, but other people are probably not going to be looking at doing those videos because they want the revenue from the links in their description. There'll be no links in my description on the theory video. So I've got a format laid out. I'll be presenting that to my RC Model Reviews viewers in a video that's coming up very shortly, just outlining there'll be a schedule for the week. Yes, I will be sticking to the schedule. So we will have technical Tuesdays and theory Thursdays and fixed wing Fridays again. And I'll be going through all the stuff that you need to know, because my philosophy is I can review one product at a time and you have to wait for the product you want to see to be reviewed, or I can give you the knowledge, the information, the skills that you need to make your own informed decisions. And to do that, I'll teach you about the technology behind the products we're using today, the electronics, the aerodynamics, the material science, all that sort of stuff that if you have a good grasp of that, then you can make a much better decision when it comes to buying something. So that's my way of making sure you guys get most value out of the hobby. So, and also this is my legacy, because as you know, I've only got a certain amount of time. A review that I do today, in a year's time, it's irrelevant. The product's not sold anymore. But the information, the knowledge, the experience that I can pass on to you in terms of the underlying technologies and so forth, that is good forever. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll have a library of stuff. You know, we'll have 2 years worth of theory Thursdays and fixed wing Fridays for you to look at. And you'll be able to come back to those time and time again and make sure my wife still has some income. Great way to go. So there you go. That's about it. So stay tuned, RC Model Reviews viewers. My Patreon supporters will also be getting a lot more extra stuff in the coming year, because there's I do a lot of videos and they never get published on YouTube because I get in the edit suite and I go, no, or I don't know. So what I'm going to do is take all that, well, it's not B grade, but it's just stuff that doesn't make the final cut. And I'm going to edit that up into my Patreon stream, so Patreon people get to see a lot more of the stuff that you guys in the YouTube world might not see on a regular basis. So there you go, that's it. Now, a lot of work to do. It's a good weekend coming up. So I've got the balloon project, which I'm going to try and get up this weekend, but the forecast is crap. I mean, the forecast is good, but the accuracy of the forecast is crap. So there's no guarantees that it'll happen this weekend. But I will keep you informed anyway. And there'll be more webcasts. A lot of people said, oh, can you do a webcast? Yeah, I'll do some webcasts. I'll do some webcasts. And this is really important, some Q&As. Q&As. If you've got questions about the hobby, about the technology, about what I do, everything, anything, ask them and I'll answer them. Now, let's kick it off with this video. Put your questions in the place provided by YouTube and I will do an answer video, Q&A video next week, which I'll try and answer as many of those questions as I can. So let's get the dialogue going, let's get the interaction going, and you'll find out things you always wanted to know. What colour underwear do I wear? Well, maybe I just go commando, you don't know. But ask if you wish. There you go. That's it. Another ranty video. Time's up. Got to go. Things to do. Oh, by the way, I just lied. I don't have to go yet, because what I'm doing in the back there is I'm redesigning the studio. Now, previously, all you've ever seen in the studio is the bench. And you don't see much of that because it's got so much crap on it. But there's also going to be the green screen wall, and there's going to be another desk which I'll use for news information and so forth. So yeah, the studio's getting it's getting completely cleaned out, and a lot of stuff's getting sent off to my Patreon supporters, and it's going to be redesigned. So I'm going to have different areas for different parts of the new format on RC Model Reviews. So stick with me, stay here. Lots of stuff coming up. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.